Is your best version the same as the version? Is your best version absolutely the version that wins? Is the version of yourself that wins absolutely your best version of yourself? Something I've been really contemplating and thinking about lately is the best version or the version, right? The version of myself that wins, is it absolutely the best version of myself? Because you see so many people, right, that are successful, and successful is whatever you determine to be. We can be talking about a millionaire, we could just be talking about own their own house, we could be talking about buying their dream car, we could be talking about traveling, we could be talking about just having a family that's healthy and together. It could mean so many different things, right? So successful, whatever it is based off what you determine that to be, right? There's some people that have said, "Oh, I had to make sacrifices, and I had to stop going to the gym for a while and work long, hard days and sacrifice this and sacrifice that," and you know what I'm saying. And then there's some people that hit the gym every day and spend a lot of time with family and was able to do so many different things that a lot of people quote unquote have sacrificed and given up and still have won. There's so many successful people that are in shape, out of shape, that are smart, that are not smart, that come from nothing or come from something, and then I can keep going on and on. Point being is, I've been really thinking about is some people that are successful, are they really the absolute best versions of themselves? And I mean physically, mentally, emotionally, just all across the board spiritually, are they the absolute best version of themselves? Or were they able to just better some parts of themselves and become the version of themselves that wins, right? Like, do you absolutely have to hit every single check mark to become the version of yourself that wins, the version of yourself that becomes successful? Or do some people only hit some of them and become that version? And the reason I've been really contemplating this is, like I said, because I see so many different people and so many different opinions, and I know everyone's timeline and path to quote-unquote success is different. So some people say I had to sacrifice this. Some people, were still able to do that and make it. So it's like, it's conflicting in the sense of, like I just said, I get it. Everyone's path is different. Everyone's journey is different. And you have to find out what works for you. But it's like, all right, you ask yourself, do I really have to give this up, or do I really have to do that, or am I gonna have to, take this that far, or can I cheat this way, or can I cut that, or do I have to put extra focus into that? And it's like, it's so many different questions on what is the best version of myself, and is that the version of myself that wins? And I've been really locking in with myself and really finding myself and just going through hard stuff lately and just adapting and changing and just learning more about what it's going to take for me personally in my journey to get the things that I want in this world, materialistically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And it's like, I'm just thinking about it, like, the version of myself that wins, that has the car that I want, that has a healthy family, that is traveling, that is giving back to the world, that's doing the things I want to do. What does that look like? What do I have to become? What do I have to give up? What do I have to add? And like I said, is it a person that can have a little fun? Is it a person that has no fun? Is it a person that has to eat super strictly? Is it a person that, has to sacrifice relationships? Is it a person that, goes to the gym every day or goes to the gym 2 times a week? Like, what does it look like, and what is it going to take? What I'm just picturing, basically, the version of myself that wins, that has the things that I want, that is doing the things that I want to do. Like I said, what do I think my life looks like? What do I think that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis? What do I think is priority? What do I think is not important? What do I think that is gonna, like I said, essentially take? Like, what is it absolutely going to take? And anyone that's watching this video, go ahead, comment. What is your take? What do you think is the absolute best version of yourself, the version of yourself that wins? Or do you become the absolute best version of yourself and fall short to your quote unquote success? And roles reverse, do you become the absolute version of yourself that wins, and you do everything that you want in this lifetime, and you feel like you missed a couple marks on what the highest frequency, highest vibration, highest level of yourself looks like. And like I said, it's just really interesting and curious to think about, and especially in today's world with, you know, a lot of things that are going on in the economy and a lot of things that people are doing, and just some people just, you get what I'm saying. I'm not going to go too in depth and say, you know, the wrong things here on, you know, this platform, but basically it's just a really deep thing to think about. And I know someone can just make it surface level and just, you know, make it easy and just say, oh, you know, just better yourself on a day-to-day basis and do what aligns with, make sure your actions align with what your goals are and yada yada. It's just that simple. But really, like I said, is it really that simple? Like, is it really the same? Is it different? You know, is it really a checklist? Becoming successful, is it really a checklist that you just check off and you become successful? Or, you know, like I said, everyone's path is different. Some people do minimum and have maximum. Some people do maximum and have minimum. So what does it really look like, you know, to get there? What does it really take? What version does, you know? I don't know. I'm kind of just, like I said, figuring out and learning more about myself, and just meditating and praying and just questioning a lot of people that are quote unquote successful and people that are quote unquote not successful, and just asking a lot of advice and a lot of questions and just watching a lot of podcasts. I'm just, and taking a lot and just seeing the different journeys and different paths and, you know, the different things in this world, and just figuring it out day to day. But that's just something I was contemplating and thinking about. So like I said, if you got some advice or you got an opinion or whatever, just drop a comment, let me know. And like I said, I'm just speaking to myself, but if I'm speaking to you too, that's great. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and, you know, I'm just going to keep putting my thoughts out there.